What's going on, SkinClub community? I'm back with another video, and I have to talk about probably the craziest, most unexpected move of the year, because we've had some awesome transfers go down already. ropz to Vitality, for example, m1mple to Falcons. But this one came out of nowhere and came out of a point of desperation. It's s1mple joining FaZe, at least for 2 events. He'll be at Dallas, which is going on right now, and then going into the Austin Major as well. Now, he joined on the 5th of May, at least when the announcement was made. It broke the internet. It was not expected. I had no idea that this was going to happen. There was no leaks. There was no rumors of it. Carrigan described it as a Hail Mary. And the reason I'm making this video is not to talk about the announcement so much, but to set our expectations, understand if this is a win or L move, I guess, because s1mple is the greatest of all time, but he's not been around for a long time. And that can be a big problem. Even if I can be a big fan of him, even if I believe in the individual ability and strength he can have on the server, there's still a lot of questions we need to look at as to how this will work, why it came to this, and what this means to him. It is kind of like a do or die move if we look at this. So what I want to remind people, I'm going to start with this going all the way back. It was ESL Pro League, October 2023, when s1mple last played truly to a good level in Counterstrike. That was his last event for Na'Vi before going on a break, trying to fix some things, get himself in order. And then obviously we know what happened. Na'Vi bring Wonderful in. They even win a major, which was unexpected. s1mple doesn't have a chance of coming back. No one else can buy him because his buyout's too high. And people might go, well, wait a second, Banks, you forgot. He had a little stint on Falcons on a loan. This was a Falcons with Snappy, Dupree, Magisk, and Madden. Out of all those players and the current Falcons we have now, only Magisk remains. And I'll say this, I'm never looking at those events he played as Falcons as serious or him really wanting to go at the comeback. I'm not even sure if he saw that as like a go-to opportunity for the future. It just seemed like a way to at least play at a high level again, for sure. But I think we were excited to see s1mple, but I don't think anyone took that as like, yeah, he might join the Falcons, he can come into this. It would be cool, right, thinking about it, if he had Nico and s1mple on the same team. But m1mple right now is a safe bet, has longevity in him, a better career ahead of him in terms of how young he is, and the amount of years the Falcons can get out of him. So we need to look at this as like s1mple has not been picked up by any teams. His buyout is high. Then FaZe comes in, and it's just 2 huge events they offer him for. I'm going to give an example of this. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here. Where I said about the players he had before with him here. Snappy, Dupree, Magisk, Madden. Sonic is the coach, obviously. We look at this event history. This is where we're at right now. Falcons, 1.17 rating on Thunderpick World Championship. That was an online event. Katowice was a LAN event. They still went out in last place with 1.06 rating. Then the Shanghai Major, which was obviously hugely disappointing, even though it was amazing to see s1mple be able to come back for a major. Not a good rating or performance from him. But that team was kind of done for before he got there. So I'm not going to hold that against him. And now you can see, I said I'm filming this on the 20th of May, 2025. So s1mple's only played 2 maps. They lost both maps against Liquid at Dallas. But he does have a 1.12 rating so far. I'm not going to read too much in the numbers and stats of it all. Not going to get crazy about that. But I will say that s1mple as a player is probably looking around him and seeing ZywOo's beating his MVP record, including LAN record now. There's no more of this online versus LAN conversation. His stock is at an all-time low in terms of what people think he can do, if he's motivated, if he's going to want to win as much as he did before. I'll tell you this, from the s1mple that I know, he is a competitive player. He is a competitor. He was bored with CSGO at one point because it was, I wouldn't say too easy, but it was too comfortable for him, CS2 does give him a new challenge. And at the beginning, yes, he didn't like the game. But now it's been a 19-month break. If I take it from that Na'Vi event, I ignore the Falcons event, and I'll take it. I'll just say that, in my opinion, this is just personal opinion, I don't think he was taking the Falcons side seriously. None of us in the community were taking that Falcons roster seriously as like a good team with potential. But FaZe is a different thing when he's playing under Carrigan. And this is where he can show that he's actually back and that he wants to be back. And in terms of showing that he's back and wants to be back, that is what you need to see from him. I'm talking about, he joined FaZe on the 5th of May. Before that, he was having some free time with friends. He was posting a lot about it on his social medias. And then he's coming back into the game on a team where he has to learn new positions, new way of playing, brand new style of leadership from Carrigan. Good thing is, though, he's going to be working with Carrigan. That's huge. Working with Carrigan, an in-game leader that he respects, that he'll trust, that he will certainly believe in, is a huge positive thing for what it means for the future for him. It means that he gets to work with one of the greatest of all time as a leader, and he is one of the greatest of all time. He is the GOAT of CSGO, and now he gets the chance to work his way into it. One negative of the FaZe move, he's reunited back with Elige, and people have shrugged it off and said, back on Liquid where they had been spoken about to have some issues. Hiko had spoken about this. People said, okay, yeah, him and Hiko, obviously great relationship, so much friends, but him and Elige, different views of the game, didn't agree on things, tension was there. But it's just for a few events. How much is it really going to bother him? Well, I think Elige doesn't have a chance to argue and do these things now. He needs to perform himself as well. There's no time for this bickering. There's no time for not agreeing with each other. You got to get on that server and you got to play together. And hell yeah, Carrigan is going to be able to put those two together and say, yes, we will make this work. Now, doing some faceit watching. We'll do that next for you guys. Let me just bring this up. Because faceit watching is a little bit important here. If we talk about prime s1mple, 2021 s1mple, all the s1mple before that as well, he would be doing team practice. He would then be streaming in the evenings, maybe sometimes. He'd be playing a hell of a lot of faceit, grinding it out. Now, look what I've got here. I'm just going to show you on the actual dates of this all. So he joined on the 5th. 6th, he played a couple of faceits. 8th, he played 3. 9th, 2. 10th, 2. 11th, 2. 12th, 2. 13th, 2. This isn't the hardcore grind mode s1mple. I'm sure it might be frustrating as well. But knowing how CS2 is, getting used to the game, new grenades and stuff like that. He spoke about this in one interview he's done already, that he had to learn so many of the new util and try and remember it all. Carrigan is obviously very good at micromanaging these things. What I see here on this faceit, stats, some are very poor, especially on some of these losses. Some are okay. It's not the same level, and I don't expect the same level from him of s1mple in prime form. But I would have liked to seen him grind more games. Now, maybe team practice is, let's just say 7 hours a day team practice for FaZe. Then afterwards, I would have liked to have seen him grinding 3, 4 minimum a day on faceit. Maybe some more after that of getting some games in to make sure you are at absolute peak form. But if he's been doing a lot of off-server work, as in the nades, the practicing like that, remembering things he has to do, working on movement, just training his aim in some way, then obviously we can't see that, right? Nowhere's that posted. I would like him to talk about it for sure. But it does put us into a situation where we can say, the doubt is still there. And that's where he has to prove everyone wrong. This move here, if it goes so badly on FaZe, say they don't do well, I'm not even expecting them to make playoffs of Dallas, because remember, this is one thing they've got going for them. Dallas is more than a test run. Scholes is filling in for Rain, so don't focus too much on Dallas. But if they bomb out of Dallas, you can say, okay, fair enough. But then Rain will be back. He's having a baby, so big congratulations to him. It's his second child, I believe. But then Rain will definitely be back for the major. Then you've got the full team. I think minimum for the major, they need to be in playoffs or almost making playoffs. And that's not going to be easy. But that's what I would have to say is a minimum standard. And he needs to shine. Because otherwise, it's still going to be a situation afterwards where he might not even get to stay on FaZe. Maybe they don't want him. Maybe it's not working out. We don't know what FaZe will look like after the major. But then other teams will probably be put off from him. You can look at some younger players, some other talents to look at. There's a big point he has to prove to everyone around him on attitude, motivation, desire to play the game. And the biggest thing I see as a win move here for FaZe is that Brokey was obviously in a bit of a slump. Something wasn't working. But I will say is that already just from looking at the Liquid game, I think what we're seeing is s1mple shown that this FaZe is not just about them having a problem with Brokey. There's some other problems in there as well. Now we have to wait and see what happens when Rain comes back, because I don't expect Skulls to be able to fill in the same way. But this could be like where they completely overhaul things coming out of the Austin Major. For s1mple, the sheer viewership that was brought for that first game, it was 800,000 viewers across all streams on the opening day for s1mple's debut. First of all, ESL is just winning on that because those numbers are insane and huge. You never get that for opening day group stage games. And that's the power of s1mple. That's the s1mple aura that a lot of players don't have. There is not many players, I don't think hardly any players, that can bring that level of viewership just by making a return to the game. We've seen other players return to the game to stand in and stuff in the past. Big names, even like Olaf, for example. But they didn't have that weight. They didn't have that pull. They didn't have that kind of, I guess, there's hate watching as well, right? So that's another thing. There's fans of s1mple, but then there's haters. They want to see him fail. They want to see how he misses so many shots, or he doesn't feel comfortable in the game, makes some wrong steps. And the good thing is when you look back at this Liquid game, he was able to take some fights. He didn't look always out of place. There was a moment on B's site where he gets one AWP kill on B ram, then he's dancing around the smoke a little bit, hits the other shot, nearly gets a third one, can't make it work. But you start to see some of that game sense smart s1mple come into it. Now, the question I asked at the beginning of this was, is this a win or an L move? W or L? This has the potential to be a win move with him finding his form in time for the Austin Major, wanting to grind this out and enjoying it all. The people that will take the L probably won't be FaZe. It'll probably be s1mple if it doesn't go well, though, because where would he go from there? So many people are speculating about if he'll even be able to get a team after FaZe if this doesn't work. And obviously, at some point, I think it may be this year, that his contract will run out and then we won't have to issue the problems of, oh, yes, he has this buyout, you know, that's going to be the reason. But it is a wild situation to find yourself in, that one of the greatest of all time has to now prove himself. And I think he knows. If you listen to the interviews he had, there's like a sit-down interview where it's all focused on him. Some of the talent talking about him as well, s1mple talking to the camera. Then he did one with Freya as well. He wants to play in front of the crowd again. That's what he's saying. He's missed that. He wants to show himself. But I think this is a do or die move. And just loaning yourself out sometimes isn't helping, you know? Because loaning yourself out, people are going to be more harsh on you. Or you're only coming back just for some fun. Are you serious about it? We need to see that dominant desire to play, to win, to frag out. And that's the s1mple everyone wants to see. Now, what I'm going to look at as well, let me bring this up. I'm going to come back to his stats again. So, if we look down here, even his stats at the end of Na'Vi there were not too amazing. If we focus on CS2 levels of it, it was never seen, right? We got to EPL season 18. That was the last of CSGO. Then we went, it was Melbourne, which he didn't go into CS2. That's where things all started. So we never got to understand it. But if we say, even on this international Na'Vi, 118, 114, 109, 119, if these are the numbers we're looking at here, which is all of these within this part to this part, this isn't too far away. It's just 2 maps. And I'm not going to look at his numbers. I'm going to look at how he moves. I'm going to look at how much he's learning and adapting, how much he's feeling confident and comfortable to move around the map and take some shots and take some risks as well. Can he pull FaZe through some rounds that are unwinnable rounds? That's what he's known for, right? And yes, then we can look at the faceits. To be fair, playing faceit in America right now while at Dallas doesn't make sense. Some players were saying it takes 55 minutes to find just a game. Solo queue maybe a little bit less, but it is terrible out there in North America. But if I can see him have that desire to grind and play, especially before Austin as well, and put up some numbers here and give us some, I want the eye test to be good. I don't need the stats to be good. I need the eye test to be good. But this is a win move for both parties right now because it's unexpected. You're putting two of the greatest, Karrigan and s1mple, in their own respective roles, all time of everything for s1mple, in-game leading for Karrigan. And you're saying, if this works, God, Karrigan, first of all, gets huge amounts of praise. But then s1mple will be back and his stocks will be rising. And he'll be proving he can do it even after a 19-month break, which not many players will be able to do. I believe in it. I think it is a win move. I'd love to know what you guys think. I know the haters will think it's an L move. The fans will definitely think it's a win move. But give your honest opinion in the comments. Let me know. I'll be checking them out afterwards. I'm excited to see what can happen. It's going to be a wild run. We'll have to see how the next games go for him. And I'll review this probably on stream or another article afterwards. Actually, we'll do that. We'll do a video here on SkinClub after the Austin Major finishes and like a summary of what we saw. Get some clips from bits he played in there. And we'll come back to this video and watch that and see what I was saying then and say, didn't see that. Didn't see this. This is how it worked out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks always for the support. Drop your comments down below. I'll be reading them later on. And enjoy the rest of your day.